Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all well and having a really good day so far. In today's video we're doing a 5 looks using the new McGrath Celestial Odyssey palette, and this is from her 2021 Christmas collection. I have recently done a full palette review, so I will link that video in the description box just in case you want to know a bit more about the palette, how all the shade swatches, etc. But if you would like to know how I achieved this look along with 4 others, then grab yourself a drink, subscribe if you haven't already, and keep on watching. I'm starting by taking the shade Electrique onto this Morphe M433, and I'm just blending that through the crease. And you can see these matte shades are really pigmented, but they blend out beautifully if you don't want such an intense pop of colour. Dipping into the shade Nocturne, which is a beautiful chocolate brown shade, and I'm applying that to the outer corner. Then going back in with my original blending brush to blend that into the transition shade. And I'm just slowly blending that out. I'm taking the excess that's on my brush onto the lower lash line. And this is quite a pigmented shade, so I don't need to dip in to the shadow again, and smoking it out with the blending brush again. For the lid now, I'm going into the shade Heavenly Body, and I'm applying that using my finger, and that's a really beautiful shimmery shade. And I hope this is picking up on the camera just how sparkly and reflective this shadow is. It's beautiful. For the inner corner, I'm applying Lunar Haze, which to me looks like a really pretty silver with a soft lilac reflect to it. And I've just applied that with my finger, but now taking a Morphe M124 just to neaten up that edge and blend that beautiful shade into the rest of the eye makeup. And I'm just going to gently pat that in. And back into Heavenly Body, just to layer that over the top to make it a nice soft transition between the two shades. And I'm also going to take some of the shade Heavenly Body onto the lower lash line, just right in the centre here. For look number 2 now, I'm starting with the shade Sunrose Amber, and I'm applying that with a Morphe M433 to the crease. And as with the other matte shades, you can apply them so they're very intense, or you can blend them out so they're a soft wash of colour. I am also going to take a bit of Nocturne into the outer corner for this look as well. So I place the colour first, and then I go back in with the blending brush and just work that into the rest of the eye makeup. Again, I'm using the excess that's on my brush just to sweep that shade down onto the lower lash line, and back in with this blending brush to blend out. Going in with the shade Corrupt Copper, and when I first saw this palette, this was one of the shades that I was really eager to try, and it does not disappoint. Just look how pigmented that is. That is an absolutely gorgeous metallic orange. So I'm pressing that onto the lid, and then as with the other eye look, I'm going to go in with my brush to neaten up the edge. I really love this orange shade. I think it's beautiful, especially for this time of year. I would wear this a lot. For this eye look, I wanted something quite bright for the inner corner, so I'm taking the shade Galactic Glow just onto my finger and pressing that into the inner corner. And as before, just neatening up that application with a brush. And I've just quickly dampened my brush with a bit of MAC Flicks Plus. And that's made quite a difference actually. So that's the eyeshadow done for looks 1 and 2. I am going to jump off camera and apply liner, mascara and lashes, and then I'll be back to show you the finished looks. And these are the two finished looks, and I'm really pleased with how both of them have turned out. So starting with look number 1, this is a gorgeous cool tone look. I think that inner corner shade has really brought the look to life, and I really like how it looks with my grey jumper. I think it's a gorgeous sort of soft feminine look, and I'm sure that I will wear this quite often. And moving on to look number 2, this look is a lot more warm toned. For me, the standout shade is definitely that orange. It reminds me of sort of a metallic pumpkin orange colour. Really beautiful for the autumn, all year round really, but especially for the autumn. And I think that I'll be reaching for this also. Starting with the shade Satin Sunset on a Morphe M433, and I'm just blending that through the crease. Just going in with a Morphe M441 just to really blend that shade out. Popping the shade Nocturne in the outer corner to add a bit of depth. And I'm also taking that shade down onto the lower lash line. And back in with the shade Satin Sunset just to blend out that edge. I'm also going to take that down onto the lower lash line. I'm now applying the shade Gold Galaxy all over the lid using my finger, and wow, just look how pigmented that shade is. Really opaque. I'm just tapping gently and the colour payoff is just insane. I'm going back in with a brush now just to neaten up this edge using a Morphe M124, and I'm still using the shade Gold Galaxy. And I just love the contrast between the gold on the lid next to the pink in the crease. And I'm also taking that shade down into the lower lash line and the inner corner. For look number 3, I'm taking the shade Sunrose Amber and I'm applying that to the crease using a Morphe M456. Going back in now with a Morphe M441 just to really blend out that edge. Dipping into the shade Nocturne for the outer corner, and then back in with the Morphe M441 to blend that into the rest of the eye look. I've now picked up the shade Noir Moon and I'm tapping that all over the lid. This is a really beautiful navy shimmer, it's almost black. And as before, I'm going back in with a Morphe M124 just to really neaten up that edge. And I'm just going back in with a bit of Sunrose Amber to blend out that edge there. I'm going to take a bit of that dark shimmer shade onto the lower lash line. And again blend out the edge using Sunrose Amber. And finally, to finish off the look, I'm applying Palladium to the inner corner. And these are the finished looks for looks 3 and 4. So starting with look number 3, I'm absolutely loving this contrast between the yellow gold shimmer on the lid and the pink in the crease. I think it's a really pretty eye look, but that yellow gold especially, for me, is just a show-stopping shade. It's absolutely gorgeous. And look number 4 is quite dark and grungy. It's my take on a classic smoky eye, but I really love how this darker shade blends out into this lighter brown. I think that transition is really pretty and I could see myself wearing this in the future. And for look number 5, I'm starting with the shade Sunrose Amber and I'm just applying that to the crease using this Morphe M433. And I'm going to blend that out using a clean Morphe M441. Just to really give that edge a good blend and take away any harsh lines. And you can see these mattes are really pigmented, but they're very easy to sheer out into a soft wash of colour as well. Now taking the shade Nocturne into the outer corner, and this is a really rich dark brown matte. And then going back in with the first brush just to give that a good blend. And I'm not taking it any higher than the transition shade, you want to make sure it's lower. Taking a small amount of Nocturne onto this pencil brush now, this is a Morphe M431, just to smoke out the lower lash line. And then I'm dipping back into Sunrose Amber to blend that out. And I'm now applying the shade that I've been most excited to try, Citrine Envy, and I'm just pressing that onto the lid. That is an absolutely stunning green. And as I've done with the other looks, I'm just cleaning that edge up with a Morphe M124. And the shades also pick up really nicely using a brush. Just blending out the edge into the matte shadows to soften that transition there. And to finish off the look, I'm applying the shade Galactic Glow right into the inner corner to give that a highlight. I've just jumped off camera, applied liner, mascara and lashes, so this is the finished look for look number 5. I think out of all of the looks, this one is my very favourite. I absolutely adore that green shade on the lid, and I think that for me is the best shade in the whole palette. So guys, those are my 5 looks using the Celestial Odyssey palette from the Pat McGrath 2021 Christmas collection. You can let me know which of the looks was your favourite in the comments below, but I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please let me know by giving the video a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos from me, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because I would love to have you back and have you join our YouTube family. Thank you so much for watching guys, enjoy the rest of your day and I'll see you on my next one.